Just a couple of days ago, we reviewed episode 4 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and now we're one episode away from the long-awaited finale. So let's hear what's happening to Obi-Wan and why Vader's after him.
Thank you very much for joining us. This is our spoiler review of Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 5. All right, we start off with a flashback, right?
Yep,
we're back to Coruscant, right?
Obi-Wan and Anakin are doing lightsaber practice, but Anakin's rage is blinding him. So Obi-Wan's like, less aggression, because the Jedi's goal is to defend life, not take it. And Anakin's need to victory blinds him, and him needing to prove himself is his undoing. And Obi-Wan tells him, until you overcome it, a Padawan you will still be.
Right. There's just 3 important lessons to learn. Now, I've always wondered, before we even get into the episode, I want to talk about these flashbacks a little bit. We know Anakin has some anger problems, anger issues. I never could understand why he was angry at Obi-Wan. What exactly did Obi-Wan do to Anakin? So I'm thinking, I don't know, do you have a take on that? What do you think?
No.
I wonder do you think Anakin might be jealous of Obi-Wan? Because Obi-Wan seems to get more attention from the Jedi Council, right? Obi-Wan sits on the council. Mm-hmm. He's considered master. He's, referred to as master.
Well, Anakin's still a Jedi Knight.
Right. And he was never given the title of master, right? And he was not allowed to sit on the council. So I just wonder, maybe that's what this is all about. It's just that, Anakin didn't get the attention he wanted or he thought he deserved. And he didn't get it from the council, but he got it from Palpatine.
Yeah. Palpatine stepped in and filled that role. Right.
So Palpatine understood what Anakin needed. The Jedi probably did not. Okay. I mean, I want to go too far out of the way about talking about the Jedi, but it's just something that I've been thinking about because Anakin is very angry at Obi-Wan. All right. So let's get into this. And now we are back to present. Reva and Vader are in the scene, and Reva is given the title of Grand Inquisitor.
Yep.
Very interesting. Okay.
So she can replace the old Grand Inquisitor.
Right. Okay. And he's on his Star Destroyer, and they're on their way to Jabiim.
Yeah.
On Jabiim, right?
Lola, remember last episode we found out that Reva placed a tracker in Lola.
Yes.
So she's cutting off the power of the facility and shut down the Hager route.
Yes, for some reason. Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, Vader is ready to attack. So Ben has to hold off the Empire and gets everybody who's trying to get off of Jabiim to help him.
Right. So we got these refugees who are trying to get off the planet.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for some reason, Lola, I don't know, for whatever reason, cuts
the power
to
off. Keep them from escaping.
Well, right. Yeah. So this was all Reva's plan, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then all of a sudden, Reva comes in. But right before that, Ben is able to get a hologram from Bail, a holo message. So Bail says that he hasn't heard from Ben, so he's going to Tatooine to protect Luke, which means we might see Bail in episode 6.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So then Reva comes in, guns blazing, with a big army and cannons, blasting down the entrance door, trying to break it open. So Ben stalls for time and tries to get into Reva's head to understand her backstory. Mm-hmm. So she was experiencing Order 66 at the Jedi Temple, and she met Anakin face to face. Luckily, she was able to survive, but now she wants revenge on Vader.
All right, can we stop there for a minute? Because that's what we anticipated, right? When we first saw,
we all saw that coming. Yeah, back in episode 1, when we saw that little clip of them trying to escape.
Yes,
we figured one of the younglings had to be Reva.
Exactly. So it's now confirmed that it was Reva. Reva was at the Jedi Temple during Order 66, and she saw Anakin, like you said, face to face. So she knew exactly who Anakin was, and she knew that at some point Anakin did become Darth Vader, and that Anakin was also Obi-Wan's Padawan. So she blames Obi-Wan. Well, what happened? You're supposed to be, in charge of your Padawan. What happened? Where were you? And we already know that Ben wasn't even in Coruscant.
He wasn't even aware of what happened. He couldn't help until Mustafar, when he, turned Anakin into a fried 14-piece.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And then Reva cuts open the door because Reva's had enough. Reva's just, Ben is in her mind and she doesn't want any more of it. So she cuts open the door with a lightsaber.
And then the battle begins. And the battle begins.
Right.
So luckily, everybody's trying to retreat, get away from the Empire, but they're still coming.
Yes. Yeah. We got stormtroopers coming in, and we have the refugees. They are also armed,
Yeah, they have like blasters and shields, melee weapons.
Right. But a majority of them are trying to, run so they can, just get away from the blaster fire.
Yeah.
When there's a war going on or a battle going on, there's a casualty or a couple of casualties, and I'll talk about it. So it's Tala. All right. Tala is actually hit by blaster fire, and Ned B, right, is remember Ned B from a few episodes back. He's
the droid.
Right. He does not speak, but actions speak louder than words. And he took out a few of those stormtroopers, but in the end, unfortunately, what he was doing was shielding Tala from the blaster fire, but it was not enough. Tala made the decision to use a thermal detonator, and she was able to give the other people time to escape, and that's what happened. Now there's a scene where the people are back at the hangar, and Ben gives Haja. I'm not sure why he gave it to Haja. I guess maybe there was no one else he could trust.
He was going to get captured anyway. That was his plan. So he didn't want them to take his valuables. Because otherwise the Empire would just have his lightsaber communicator unless he gave it to somebody before he went out there.
I guess so, right? Because Haja was the only one that... Haja, I'm trying to remember, was he on the ship with the rest of the refugees? Did he get on the ship or did he stay? He did. Right. So why didn't he give it to Roken? I know he just met Roken, but he gave the communicator and his lightsaber to Haja, right?
Yeah.
To protect. So the communicator is the same communicator he used to talk to Bail.
Yes.
Right. Or it would not talk to Bail, but he heard that communication.
To get his message.
Right. Okay. And then
it's like when you call somebody and it turns to voicemail.
Right. Right. So he gives up this, the lightsaber and the communicator because he is going to surrender, in quotes, to Reva. And here we have the best line in the episode. So Reva tells him, we got you, Obi-Wan, get on your knees. And, she says, well, I'm going to bring you to him. And then Ben says to Reva, you're not bringing him to me.
I'm bringing him to you.
That's right. And if you just saw the look on Reva's face, like she just had this look of terror, the idea of facing down Darth Vader. So Ben has this short conversation with Reva about, you can take him, you and I, Ben and Reva, can take Vader on ourselves. And, she's, well, how are we going to do that? He's going to know that I'm coming. And, so, Ben says, he's not a strategic person. He just loves to attack. He won't know. So in other words, she's going to find a way to distract Vader so Ben can escape with the rest of the refugees. Okay. So now Vader arrives, right? Yeah. By the way, can we go back and, Leia was actually in this episode.
Oh, yes. She had to bring the power back again after Lola destroyed it.
Right.
And then she was like, oh, Lola, it's you. Oh, there's a tracker on your wing. Dad, you had to destroy the droid, didn't you?
I thought the droid needed to be destroyed because this droid was dangerous.
Or she could just lift the wing up and take the tracker up.
No, it didn't occur to me that, she could have just removed the tracker. Okay. And, apparently Leia knew how to remove the tracker.
Yeah.
Trackers, usually, I don't know much about trackers. I didn't know if it was that easy to just remove a tracker. But anyway, so Leia is, her goal was to get the doors open, right? So there's this little section of the wall where the wires are. Only a small person can get in, so they needed her to crawl in and reconnect the wires so that she can open up the hangar doors.
Yeah.
Right, which she does. She opens up the hangar doors
successfully.
Yeah, and everyone gets on the transport. Here comes Vader. And he's
Vader's
walking.
big and bad. He just puts his hand out, and all of a sudden the ship is falling over the ground because he's pulling it back.
Right, the ship is taking off. Vader stops the ship in midair
with the force
and pulls the ship back down to the surface, starts ripping the ship apart.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, we just see this ship within a ship just blast off.
Yeah, like an escape pod.
Right, exactly.
5 times bigger.
Yeah, right. This little, well, apparently because it fit all these refugees. But so they had an escape. They had a plan. Mm-hmm. Ben had a plan because Ben understands how Anakin thinks. Exactly. And that was a lesson that he was trying to teach Anakin at the beginning of the episode about,
how your anger can blind you.
Exactly.
And
right.
For victory.
Right. And, it to be honest with you, if you look at the history between Anakin and Obi-Wan, Anakin could never find a way to defeat Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
He never could. Ben always had.
Even at his prime, he couldn't take down Ben.
No.
Even after A New Hope, he still hadn't taken down Ben.
That's
Ben
right,
was
exactly.
Still a Force Ghost even afterwards.
Ben made that decision for himself. It wasn't that Darth Vader took him out. Ben made that decision, right? So he can never defeat Ben Kenobi. So, but anyway, so now that Vader's distracted, Reva comes up behind him, and she brings out her lightsaber, and
Vader's not even doing anything because he saw her coming. He just used the Force to push her back.
She is swinging that lightsaber. That lightsaber is not landing anywhere. She can't lay a finger on Vader.
Yeah, she can't just do this. He just pushes her back with the Force. That was epic.
Right, and then she turned on the I don't know if there's a name for it, but the lightsabers that the Inquisitors use.
The double bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, and spun it, and Vader just grabbed it from her, broke it in half.
And it was like fair duel. Now, if a person is willing to give you an edge over them in combat, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have just force jumped out of there and ran.
Yeah. So it was no surprise. There was, Reva is no match for Vader. Vader had the upper hand throughout the whole thing. He didn't have to lay a glove on her. She couldn't touch him. But it ended with the blade lightsaber going through Reva. All right, and Reva falls. For some
reason, people keep surviving that.
Yeah, look, this is something new to me because the same thing happened to Qui-Gon in Phantom Menace, and
also a bunch of Clone Wars people.
Yeah, he went down, and he didn't come back. But apparently, this blade went through Reva. Reva fell to the ground, and who shows up?
Yeah, of course, it's the Grand Inquisitor
making a speech.
Who somehow survived,
making this big speech.
Of course, even after he's just had a near-death experience, he still decides to make a speech to Reva.
He just loves to talk.
He's speechifying. He just gives people speeches whenever he enters a room.
Yes, right.
Like we said, second armchair critic.
Right. He and then he takes the badge, the Inquisitor badge, off of Reva, and he puts it on himself, and he and Vader walk out the door and leaving Reva there to fend for herself. So apparently she's breathing and she's crawling.
Ben's communicator
now.
She plays Bale's message because Haja, when he was running, he dropped the communicator.
Yeah, right
before the ship took off. So she has it and she heard the message.
Yeah.
So now we're back to Tatooine.
Yes.
Episode 6.
So it looks like
the finale.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be heading back to Tatooine. The last shot we saw is
sleeping
Luke. Sleeping in his bed. So we don't know what's going to happen there. And then, of course, the ship that they're on doesn't have a hyperdrive, right? So the Empire is going to find them very quickly. So what's going to happen in episode 6? Or where are these refugees? Are these refugees going to escape? Are these refugees going to escape? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen to Reva. Is she going to go to Tatooine? And, who is she looking for? Because she didn't really hear the entire message from Bail Organa.
Yeah, because it was skipping.
Does she know who Bail Organa is?
No, I don't. I think she gets a little bit of a clue that he's related to Leia because, Leia Organa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so overall, what do you think of this episode? Not your favorite? Not one of your favorites?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it wasn't my favorite.
Okay. That's fine. That's okay. I actually liked it. I would say it's the second best episode. I would say behind episode 3.
I like episode 3. Episode 3 was a good episode.
Episode 3 was really good. It's just that, I don't know. This is just leaving us a lot of questions.
I mean,
for one episode to answer.
Yeah, we're just getting a lot more questions because from episode 1, we've had questions and some of them still haven't been answered.
Right. Yeah. And if we were to predict, I don't know if you have any predictions for episode 6. I'm thinking Vader can't know where Obi-Wan is going.
Like, no, he can't. I think at this point he's just done with Obi-Wan.
Right. So Obi-Wan, senses there's something wrong. And he's going to know that, okay, well, Reva probably is going to head to Tatooine and he's going to cut her off at the pass.
Yeah, but she's going to need to heal.
Yeah, well,
I hope she has a back to tank on her ship.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Is she going
to... Or a wheelchair.
Somehow she's going to make it to Tatooine and, there's going to be this showdown between Ben and Reva.
That'd be nice to see a lightsaber fight in the series.
Exactly, because Vader can't be on Tatooine unless... The only way I can see Vader landing on Tatooine is if he comes on Tatooine. He doesn't know about Luke. Of course, he doesn't know about Luke. But he knows that Ben is on Tatooine. And the two of them have this battle of the century or whatever it's being called now. And somehow Vader thinks he defeated Ben and Ben fakes his death.
Yeah, like if Vader blows up one of those huts or something, and there's just fire. Vader's searching through the rubble,
right?
And he finds no Obi-Wan except for like a cloak and a saber or something.
Right.
Probably not a saber, but like a cloak.
Yeah, I think that's the only way that Ben's going to have to get Vader off his back is if Vader thought or thinks that Ben didn't survive the battle somehow, and Ben falls and he's not dead, although Vader thinks he's dead. Vader takes off and he never comes back to Tatooine. And then Ben remains on Tatooine for the last
9 years.
The last few years. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of. Now, what does that mean for Reva? I have no idea.
I don't know.
We have no idea. So
she's the only one who knows about the message, though.
That's true. I don't know. We're going to find out. All right.
So I don't know if Reva's fully on Obi-Wan's side or if she's playing both sides or she's leaning more towards Vader.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Which Kool-Aid flavor? Blue or red or purple?
I don't know. We know that she's not as bad as, she made herself out to be. She's got a little bit of good in her.
Yeah, a little sliver.
Yeah, and, she was a victim of the Empire, of course. Yeah, so as so many
of course she
people
wants some revenge.
Yeah, all right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
This is episode 5. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
All right. Well, thank you very much. This is our spoiler review of episode 5. We have no idea what's going to happen in episode 6. We can only speculate, but we're looking forward to it. We're going to watch it and we'll be here to review it. And then will there be a season 2? We don't know. Let's just find out what happens in the finale. All right. Keith, where can people find us?
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, Amazon Music, Audible, as well as other platforms like Overcast and podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. We have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We're still giving away that Bad Batch poster.
Yes.
To the
501st subscriber.
501st subscriber.
So please help us race to 501.
All right. Absolutely. And we have, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Father Son Galaxy.
And check out our website, FatherSonGalaxy.com.
All right. So that covers it. So thank you very much once again for tuning in to the spoiler review of episode 5. We'll see you at episode 6. Until then, take care.
And we'll see you again.